So here's the question for the table. Okay. We saw a video that was kind of going viral online from Dr. Umar Johnson. And Dr. Umar Johnson, because I think, here we go, Miracle. We're like, we voted the progressive brother in. 11-4 was the vote. It's not even close. I'm assuming most of those are black people on the council. Is voting something that we need to continue investing in? Play the Dr. Umar clip. This is what Dr. Umar.
End of the day, if voting could change anything, voting would be illegal.
What the hell?
What happened?
Democracy is a scam. Democracy is a system created by those in power to make poor people think you can radically transform your reality without violence and revolution. That's all democracy. That's why America says we got to make the world safe for democracy. Why you got to make the world safe for democracy? Because if most of the people in the world woke up, they would understand a ballot ain't going to change shit. Bullets do. Show me a revolution, Queen.
So pause that.
Has ever changed anything?
Okay, so Miracle. We do voting education work.
I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. So ballots do change things.
100%.
And if you don't believe me, can you get your medication as a transgender person in Florida right now?
You can.
Ballots change everything.
That was a great
Can
point.
you, as a person who is an immigrant, live with your undocumented partner in Florida right now?
Right.
Ballots don't change anything. Can you, as a 15-year-old, be outside in Baltimore right now?
Right.
Ballots don't change anything. Can you, as a pregnant person in Idaho, cross the border right now and worried about being arrested and being accused of seeking an abortion?
Yeah.
Ballots change things.
100%.
And for a lot of us as poor working class people, ballots change things for the negative. Can you go outside and smoke your joint? Can you go outside and be topless? Ballots change stuff for our lives. The problem is the people who are on these ballots aren't always invested in making our lives easier. Right? People are like, you know what? I don't like those black people. So now NYPD can post because of a ballot saying you cannot barbecue on your own front porch.
Wow.
You cannot hang out on your own sidewalk because of a ballot. I've talked about this before, and I'll say trigger warning. One of my friends a few years ago was the individual who took the lives of 2 police officers. Y'all would say that was revolution. That got us Blue Lives Matter legislation.
100%.
That got police officers put as a protected class.
Yeah.
So if you say something, you can be accused of committing a hate crime against a police officer.
We saw that happen right here in Pittsburgh.
Bullets do not always bring about revolution.
1,000%.
Bullets do not always bring about change.
Yeah.
We've seen things called repression and a response. In our communities, no community is strong enough to fight the American government.
Yeah.
No community. This is
Absolutely
not, you know, the Civil War.
Yeah, this ain't
This is
right.
not the Revolutionary War.
You got a musket, I got a musket.
like,
It's both taking us 21 minutes to load the motherfucker, yeah.
These bullets cannot make any changes.
Yeah,
you know what happened when black people had a bullet?
Yeah.
California came and said, now we're going to put in laws that you can, that's why we have gun reform.
100%.
And that's why so many black
the
people
Black Panthers,
have gun possession charges, and they've never shot a gun, never harmed anybody with a gun.
It's always weird to me, Miracle, when a person that is advocating for this has never organized any type of revolutionary. Like, you could use the same argument that Dr. Umar is making against Dr. Umar. You could say, Dr. Umar, you've been speaking for 20 years.
Yeah.
You've done thousands of speeches. Has the black community got better since they've been listening to you, Dr. Umar? Hey, Dr. Umar, if you were so revolutionary and good for black people, wouldn't they have made your speeches illegal?
When you got that school built,
No, I'm just saying they would have. Wouldn't they have kicked him off of social media?
Come on,
they kick other people off of social media, right?
Yeah,
they still allow you on social media if you were so instrumental. I mean, but really, I mean, come on, are we going to trust? Like you said, are we going to trust a man who has? How long is it? It's been like 10 years and you still don't have a school bill. Now you're going to organize an army? Come on, Dr. Umar.
You can't even get niggas to come to school, bro.
You can't even get the school built. You know what I'm saying?
I think but he does have a point, and I want to be very clear about this because last night's vote in the city of Atlanta belies his point. There is a frustration and an anger that some of our conditions have not changed as a people, even though we are the most to vote.
Yes.
And a lot of times that voting is not harm reduction, it's protection.
True.
Because we know if another person gets in office, they're going to do worse by our community and for our community. What I would like to see is a lot of these people making more demands of Kamala, more demands of Biden, more demands of your mayor and your city council people, and makes basically until you're able to vote them out, show that they don't have the best interest of your community, because there's no reason that our communities are impacted by homelessness and joblessness and our children are being in little gun warfare because these politicians aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And so I think that Umar is speaking to people who are frustrated and angry, but you also have to remember there are a lot of black people who cannot legally vote because they've been disenfranchised as well. And so there are people who are sitting on the outskirts who are impacted by policy and will never be able to vote, never be able to impact policy because somebody got on a ballot and said, if you're a felon, you cannot vote in this country.
True.
And so this is something that we have to be very mindful about, especially as we go into 2024, because the black vote is at play. And I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I think any candidate that speaks to you is the candidate you go for, but you should have demands of that candidate. And I would like to see a Umar or a Tariq Nasheed actually teach people how to lobby their legislators instead of saying this voting tool doesn't work, abandon it.
Yeah, I think they're more concerned about getting you to come to their conferences, paying them a bunch of money to hear them speak.